In this video, I brought you the solution of two important questions from meaning into words, when and as soon as per board exam 2078. Hi, I'm Sanjeev and you all are welcome to my channel. So, when do we use when and as soon as? At first, let's see the general rule. When we connect two past events, we use when and as soon as. In the case of two past events that come almost at the same time, that take place almost at the same time, we use simple past for both the actions. So, यो युनिटमा चाहिँ दुईटा घटना दिएका हुन्छन्, त्यो घटनालाई जोड्नका लागि हामी when अथवा as soon as को प्रयोग गर्दैछौँ. हामीले ध्यान दिनुपर्ने कुरा भनेकै if those two events come almost at the same time simultaneously, then we use simple past tense for both the action. That means क्वेशन आफै सिम्पल पास्ट टेन्समा दिएको हुन्छ, त्यसकारण तपाईहरुले त्यो क्वेशन जस्तो छ त्यस्तै नै सार्दिनु होला. I will give the example. Whereas if we have two events that come one after another, in such case we use past perfect tense for the first past event. That means दुईटा घटना आउँदै गर्दा यदि एउटा घटना सकिएपछि अर्को घटना सुरु हुन्छ र पहिलो घटना पछि दोस्रो घटना आउँदै हुन्छ भने यस्तो क्रममा चाहिँ हामी we use past perfect tense अर्थात had plus v3 लाउनु होला first past event को लागि. Now you can see the example. The teacher came into the class and the students stood up. लगभग सँगसँगै हुन्छ. So you just copy the question as it is. As soon as or when the teacher came into the class, the students stood up. So basically the question itself is given in simple past tense and you have just rewritten the questions. Yes, there are some changes. I will talk about that. And number two, the teacher came into the class and started teaching. पक्कै नै टिचर आउँदा आउँदै पढाउनु न आइसकेपछि ग्रीटिङ होला, then he पढाउन थाल्नु होला. So the arrival of the teacher and his act of teaching are two different actions which take place one after another. यस्तो केसमा first past event लाई we write in past perfect tense, or let's say had plus v3. Example हेर्नुस् त. As soon as the teacher had come into the class. So it is had come because here you have two events that come one after another. Okay, now let's see when and as soon as separately. अब when एकदमै एक्जाममा आइरहने क्वेशन्स हो. Okay, so how do we do it? यसको लागि basic thing, start your answer with when. When बाट सुरु गर्नुहोस्. And in questions, when you see but and जस्ता expression देख्नुहुन्छ भने you replace them with a comma, हटाइदिनुहोस्, comma राख्नुहोस्. And in second event, if subject is missing, in such case, you can bring the subject from the first past event. Okay? This is exactly what you get in exam. Change the following sentences using when instead of and or but. See this? She peeled the banana and gave it to the baby. So, peeling the banana and giving that banana to the baby are the two events that come almost at the same time. Therefore, अब यस्तो केसमा के गर्ने भन्दा सँगसँगै आयो भने you start your answer with when. अनि अघि नै भनियो सँगै आएका घटना छन् भने दुईटैलाई सिम्पल पास्ट टेन्समा लेखिन्छ, जबकि क्वेशन नै सिम्पल पास्ट टेन्समा हुन्छ. सो कपी द क्वेशन एज इट इज हो सजिलो भाषामा भन्दा, हैन र? सो when she peeled the banana, she gave it to the baby. You can see in second sentence, second event, subject is missing. So who gave it to the baby? भन्दा हामीले पहिलो घटना हेरेपछि it is she. So when she peeled the banana, she gave it to the baby. Number two, I looked in the fridge and found some sausages. अब फ्रिजमा हेर्नु र sausage पाउनु लगभग these two events come almost at the same time. So again you are not changing anything. When I looked in the fridge, who found? Obviously I found some sausages. Subject you are deriving from the first past event. Number three, the security man searched our hand baggage and we boarded the plane. So if you are boarding the plane, if you are getting into an airport to board a plane, at first you have to go through security pass, security checking, and then security मान्छेले तपाईको सामान चेक गरिसकेपछि एकछिन अगाडि बढेर बल्ल प्लेनमा चढिन्छ. So one event takes place, that is security man checking your baggage, and thereafter only you board the plane. त्यसकारण यो केसमा एउटा घटनापछि अर्को आएको कारणले गर्दा फर्स्ट पास्ट इभेन्टलाई हजुरले पास्ट पर्फेक्ट टेन्स अर्थात had plus p3 मा राख्ने. See this? When the security man had searched our hand baggage, we boarded the plane. Similarly, number 4, he kicked the dog and it barked. So, both these events taking place almost at the same time. When he kicked the dog, it barked. I went to the duty-free shop and bought a carton of goalie. So you can simply put it as it is. And you are just removing and को ठाउँमा हजुरले कमा राख्नु भएको छ अरु जस्ताको तस्तै. Number 6, the plane took off and the stewardess came around with orange juice. Plane उड्दा उड्दै त कसले जुस लिएर आउँछ, right? The stewardess, the air hostess, does not serve you orange juice when the plane is, when the plane had just started flying. एकछिनपछि she will announce and she will announce about the weather, she would announce about the destination, the time duration that will take to reach up to destination. Then only she serves the passenger. So एउटा plane उडिसक्यो, take off is like plane उड्नु, and एकछिनपछि orange juice लिएर आउने भएको कारणले गर्दा you can see the gap. Therefore, first past event plane taking off like past perfect tense मा लेखौं. And the answer is, when the plane had taken off, the stewardess came around with orange juice. Number 7, he drank the coffee and asked for another cup, right? So before he demanded another cup of coffee, he must have completed the first cup of coffee. Therefore, you change it. You change the first past event using past perfect tense. When he had drunk, drank, drunk. When he had drunk the coffee, he asked for another cup. Number 8, I paid my bill and left the restaurant. पैसा तिरेपछि किन बस्नु, भाडा हान्नु परेन हैन, पैसा तिर्नै बाहिर आउने. So no change. Okay, it should not be changed. It's an error. So let me just cut it. It is not when I had paid my bill. It is only when I paid my bill. So this is a typing error. So typo. Okay, so this is not the right one. So don't say had. It is only when I paid my bill. Okay, not when I had paid my bill. So had, by typing error, it is there. So only when I paid my bill. Okay, so it is, I'm just going to cut it. Okay, done. So when I paid my bill, I left the restaurant. Just tako tastay. Now, likewise, next questions which you have is, he put his foot on the brake, but nothing happened. Okay, so he put his foot on the brake, but nothing happened. When he put his foot on the brake, nothing happened. But and finally, second last question, number 10. I read the letter and threw it into the waste paper basket. And who threw? I threw. When I read the letter, I threw it into the waste paper basket. And finally, the last question is, I read his autobiography and discovered what a strange person he had been. So autobiography पढिसकेपछि matrai you reflect on autobiography. Then finally, you come to a kind of understanding about that person. So reading autobiography and drawing the conclusion about that person are two different events. Therefore, use had. When I had read his autobiography, I discovered what a strange person he had been. In fact, here I would like to tell you one thing very clearly, that most of the time, the questions which are asked in board exam, they are the repeated questions, and they are also the questions from book. And you 11 questions padhai garda, when you read these 11 questions, you could see, in few sentences, you were writing had plus B3. When you जस्ताको तस्तै सार्यौ. So हजुरले के याद गर्नु पर्यो भने, किन त आखिर कुन सेन्टेन्समा चाहिँ चेन्ज हुँदो रहेछ भन्ने कुरा सम्झिनु भयो भने, you can just copy other sentences as they are. So in order to remember those, sentences where you write had plus B3, there is one pictorial story which I had created for you. Okay, and let's see what are they. Okay, first, security. Just एउटा plane चढ्न गएको सम्झिनुलाई, यो चारवटा छन् मैले बुझाइहालु. Plane चढ्न जाँदै गर्दा security man ले सामान चेक गर्छन्. अनि त्यसपछि and thereafter plane उड्छ, तपाईको सामान चेक गरेपछि plane भित्र हेर्नुस् है म के गर्दैछु. I am drinking coffee and I am reading autobiography. फेरि एकचोटी भनौं, security man ले सामान चेक गरे, plane उड्यो, म कफी खाँदैछु, autobiography पढ्दैछु. यो चारवटा वर्ड भएका सेन्टेन्स हेर्नु भयो भने त्यसमा मात्रै हामीले चेन्ज गरेका छौं. When the security man had searched our hand baggage, when the plane had taken off, when he had drunk coffee, and when I had read his autobiography. Now let's see another topic, that is as soon as. So as soon as rules are also very similar to the rules that we studied under when. You need to start your answer with as soon as, but here you remove other expression also, and immediately, straight away, straight, instantly यिनीहरूलाई हटाउनुहोस् अनि एउटा यिनीहरूको ठाउँमा एउटा कमा राख्नुहोस्, replace them with a comma. And like, as we said earlier, if the subject is missing in the second event, you can bring the subject from the first past event. Other rules the same. दुईटा event सँगसँगै आयो भने copy the question as it is. If one event comes next event, then in such case use past perfect tense had plus verb 3 in the case of first past event. And these are the questions from the book. Change the following sentences using as soon as. They saw the house and immediately fell in love with it. So remove and immediately. घर देख्ने बित्तिकै घर मन परिहाल्छ. Therefore, you copy the question as it is. As soon as they saw the house, they fell in love with it. Number 2, I wrote the letter and posted it straight away. This time, whenever you write the letter, after writing the letter, you go to post office, then you post it. So there is gap, one event, then comes next event. So as soon as I had written the letter, I posted it. Straight away हटाउनु भनेर भनिएको छ. So straight away हटाउनुहोस्. Number 3, the train passed and immediately crossing barrier went up. In order to prevent the probable accidents, there is the provision of crossing barrier that goes down when the train is passing, and after the train passes, okay, then only the crossing barrier goes up so that people, passengers, vehicles can move across. So here it is, you have two events जुन एकपछि अर्को आएका छन्. So and immediately हटाएर first past event लाई had plus b3 मा लेख्नुहोस्. As soon as the train had passed, the crossing barrier went up. Number 4, he got his exam results and immediately rang up his parents. So remove and immediately, put a comma, copy other things. He got married again immediately after his wife's death. This is a bit confusing, okay? He got married again immediately after his wife's death. Your questions ma कुन चाहिँ first event हो भन्दा wife's death is first event and he getting married is second event. But verb is missing. Death the noun हो नि त. त्यो अर्थमा हामीले चाहिँ had plus b3 death को verb भयो die. So हामीले had died अगाडिबाट सुरु गर्नु पर्यो. So हेर्नु त कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ. As soon as his wife had died, he got married again. Okay, किनकि after his wife's death, most probably he waited for a few days or few months, then only he got married again. Okay, number 6, यो पनि ठ्याक्कै 5 जस्तै छ. यसमा पनि फर्स्ट पास्ट इभेन्टलाई अन्तिममा दिएको छ. ब्रेकफास्ट खाएपछि घर छोडेको. So again, you can say as soon as he had or he had eaten or he had taken his breakfast, he left the house. Straight after हटाउनुहोस्. Number 7, I looked into her eyes and knew immediately that she was the girl for me. Okay, so as soon as I looked into her eyes, I knew that she was the girl for me. I told him about my problem and instantly offered to help. Just remove instantly and other things remain the same. And this is the last questions. Television program ended and then I went straight to bed. Television program सकिएपछि मात्रै I went to bed भन्ने बित्तिकै television program ended, then you went to bed. Okay, so one event is there, then comes next event, one after another. So therefore, television program like had plus b3 ma lekhnos. As soon as the television program had ended, I went straight to bed. Did you realize that again this time, when you were using as soon as, you made certain changes. Okay, in some questions, you wrote had plus b3 होइन भने अरु बाँकी क्वेशन त जस्ताको तस्तै सार्नु भयो. अब फेरि कुन कुन क्वेशनमा had plus b3 राखेर हामीले चेन्ज गर्यौ त भनेर सम्झिनका लागि I'm going to present you a pictorial form. So try to understand this and try to remember it. हेरौँ है त. एउटा ट्रेन आयो. ट्रेनमा चिठी आएको छ. चिठी ट्रेनबाट आएको छ. चिठी contains about someone's death. त्यो चिठी आउँदा म के गर्दै थिएँ भन्दा I was watching television and eating breakfast. So you have 5 changes रहेछ नि हेर्नु. Train, when the crossing barrier when the train had passed भने, the letter, when I had written the letter, okay, so I mean not when, it is as soon as the train had passed, as soon as he had written the letter, as soon as written the letter. अर्को क्वेसन छ तपाईलाई, as soon as his wife had died. And number 4 is had eaten or had taken breakfast. And as soon as the television program number 5 had finished. So यो 5 वटामा you have the change. फेरि स्क्रिप्ट सम्झौं. ट्रेन आयो चिठी लिएर, चिठी कसैको बारे, मृत्युको बारे. त्यो चिठी आउँदा म ब्रेकफास्ट खाँदै थिएँ, टिभी हेर्दै थिएँ. If you remember it, you can do it. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.